Evian. On a crisp November morning at 6:30 a.m., a shy sun blinking between Silverweed's houses, Victor opened the bedroom curtains and looked out over the long back garden. A tension instantly screwed tight in his chest. A glittering carpet of silver frost had rolled across the lawn, another invader to be crushed. His wife, Patricia, rolled over in bed, shielding her soft green eyes. She focused on her husband's silhouette and groaned into her pillow. "What is it this time, Victor?"
"Frost again. It's everywhere."
Within minutes, Victor was on the lawn crunching towards the crop cage in his green rubber boots. Patricia watched through the bedroom curtains, eyes rolling at the silent comedy being played out by her husband. Wrestling with a cable that snaked from the kitchen, through the back door and across the frosted lawn, Victor uncoiled an extension reel and unzipped the butterfly netting, the only entrance to his domed crop cage. Foot snagged on the cable, Victor tripped into the netted dome, batting the raspberry leaves from his face. He fussed and flapped, plugged in his wife's hairdryer snatched from the bedroom, and caressed hot air over the canes. Patricia brushed her long silver hair, wincing at the hairdryer's screams. If she could hear it through the double glazing, what about the rest of the street? When Roy Barker posts another complaint through the letterbox, she thought, Victor can deal with him this time. As she brushed and cringed, a distant chattering joined the hairdryer's screams. Patricia frowned as the sound grew closer. The chattering seemed to circle the house, high above the roof. Patricia was already making a pot of tea when Victor finally stepped into the kitchen, satisfied the worst of the frost had evaporated. His autumn treasure had lived up to its name. Ruby-red gems fit to burst, the berries as fat as his thumb. In 2 days, Victor's crop would be ready to harvest, a rare gardening victory in a challenging year. "Panic over?" Patricia asked, keen to get the conversation over with, not much caring for an answer.
Yes,
said Victor. He plucked a cup from the mug tree and placed it by the teapot.
"Couple of days and they'll be ready to pick."
"Only you," said Patricia, "would blow-dry a raspberry."
"If you're going to do something," snapped Victor,
hackles up, immediately set on the defence,
"do it properly or don't do it at all."
"Don't do it at all," Patricia wished. "Don't do it at all." She passed Victor his tea. He'd been so handsome, even in his 50s. Now his thin grey hair was in retreat, his earlobes drooped like candle wax, and his chaotic eyebrows reminded her of the dust ball she emptied from the Hoover nozzle. And as for the hands that once softly caressed her, since Victor's gardening obsession, his fingernails looked like he was farming mud. The black soil was rooted so deep that Patricia half joked he could grow radishes from his fingertips. Victor couldn't resist correcting her. Cress, maybe. Radishes, impossible. Patricia watched Victor slurp at his tea. Was it Victor she loved, or the memory of him? The stroke last May had changed her husband. Physically, he'd escaped unscathed, but his internal earthquake had opened new fault lines. With his survival came glimpses of an infallible God complex. When nature didn't agree with him, there were flashes of temper directed at the garden she'd not seen in him before. Dr. Gosden had called it emotional incontinence, a result of lesions from the stroke, but the explanation didn't make things any easier. Whenever she looked at the garden, there was a creeping sense of separation, of losing her husband to the deep black earth. As Victor headed upstairs for a shower, Patricia took the hairdryer back to the bedroom. She paused at the window, sweeping her eyes over the garden. The busy bird feeders she'd so enjoyed had been banished by Victor for the sake of his precious raspberries. Nowadays, she'd be lucky to see a blue tit blur past. But this morning, something had caught her attention. 2 jackdaws were perched on a branch, lurking on next door's silver birch.